Alerts have been paused, chat. I'm not gonna do what Alara does here. At least I hope not to. I felt like it was inappropriate, really, to do a pre-stream, but I'm still not ready. I don't think I don't think I will ever really be ready to talk about what is going on. I'm not looking for sympathy, by the way, so if you come in here just saying, ooh, woo, mom, I love you no matter what, fuck the haters, that's not what I want right now. Okay? I don't want people to just blindly give me sympathy. Because I personally think that I partially don't deserve it. I do believe that there are things I need to talk about tonight. No, the Twitch should be on. But I'm not going to ask you guys to give me ass pats when it comes to what happened. Oh my gosh, you know, I left work early today because I desperately am, like, without good sleep. And I attribute my lack of sleep to a lot of things. Mostly what we're gonna talk about today. Oh man. I knew that eventually I would have to talk about some of the things I have to talk about tonight. Some of them, well, not some of them. Some of these things really suck for me. Really sucks for Underthetea as a whole. And I wish some of them went differently. But I'm going to do my best to navigate them in a way that I feel like is fair and clear for people. I have turned off the notifications for things. They shouldn't show up. If they don't, we'll be really pissed off. VTuber model? Yeah, that'll be a model. I just needed a moment. Here, give me a moment. Like, let me turn off some things here. Oh, man. I am going to try my best not to be, like, emotional. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. What is going to happen is I'm going to do my best to talk about, the events from today, what preceded those events, and how things are coming. Because I want people to know that even though my actions tonight are unacceptable, and I'm not asking, again, for sympathy, I need to explain how we got here. Because not knowing how we got here, I feel like is a disservice to people. I feel like... My goodness, I have a lot of... I feel like, I have lacked, actually talking about things. So we're gonna talk about it. Let me pull up what happened today, chat. And let me... Even though I'm probably not gonna leave a lot of chat, I'm going to talk, about things. And if you say something insightful enough that I feel like I can pull from it, and build off of it, I will. But just understand, I do see your chat. So, let me start off with this, because again, I feel like it's important to show off what I think everybody has seen before, before, you know, we move back here. And by the way, I made like a list. I made a list so that I could stay on topic. Yeah. So, this is from Mizu. Mizu says that their life is no choice, so let me be clear. Mama Akko, me, is blackmailing Lumi and I with Underthetea unless we agree to kill the channel. Now, I am going to tell you right now that I don't believe that this is true. I don't believe that what I was requesting would have killed the channel. I understand why everybody is upset with me, and believe you me, when I had finally sat down and thought about it, yeah, I was pissed off as well. Because I toyed back and forth with the idea. And by the way, to give you some context here, let me pull this up here. I sent this earlier today, and yeah, I'm going to explain just kind of how things are going and why it led to this. But I just need to read and go through this. And I said, I wish to let you know that I'm dropping out of the podcast. That being said, I want everything with regards to me to be erased and gone. This includes assets that include live streams, pictures, audio, branding, names, and logos, etc. Everything involving my character. After I do this, I will relinquish control of the account to one of you for control. After the last few meetings, I realized that our goals no longer align for what we are seeking. I also feel I cannot maintain my personal health, as my personal and professional life have been affected to the point of life-threatening. I paid you both the exact amount for the last few months. I've set aside $71 for taxes and removed the cost of the logo that we purchased, putting the cost to be split at $579. This was after taxes, by the way. Some people were confused. This amount right here was after taxes. The actual amount was like almost $700. And I took out the taxes, which is 20%, and I gave them both $186.70, as that was what they were owed, basically. I then said, if you have any issues, let me know. And so Mizu shows here the changes here in the history. And I need to preface here just kind of why things were immediately changed, because I will 100% admit I did lock down the accounts, okay? However, it was not preceded by me trying to, quote unquote, and I'm going to say quote unquote here because I'm just going to say that, it was not preceded by me wanting to blackmail them to get rid of the channel, or get rid of the videos to the channel. What had happened? And what had happened is the previous night, and I would prefer not to share the audio of the previous night, because I still wish to respect them. But the previous night was, unironically, like just a sucky night, where I feel like I need to back up even further. Let me just finish here, because I don't wish to get frazzled. I wish to keep on track. What I'm trying to say is, I woke up this morning to an email from my main account saying that the recovery email, which was my personal email, and the recovery phone number, which was my personal phone number, was removed from the account. Now, I don't know if anybody else has ever, like, woken up to that kind of email. I woke up and saw that, and I immediately assumed the worst. I assumed that somehow a hacker had gotten access to the YouTube channel, and that they were trying to lock me out of it. Okay? And so, I immediately, without seeing what the recovery was, and without the phone number, and without verifying, changed everything and locked down the account, because I feared that the account was going to be compromised and lost, and I didn't want that. Because at that point, I was trying to salvage things, and I was trying to work on improving my relationships with Mizu and Lumi. However, after I had secured it, I realized that the recovery email was Mizu's email. I assumed that it was his phone number too, but I recognized that it was changed. And so I went from one tiny problem of thinking that the podcast account had been hacked and that it was going to become a Tesla account to, why are they doing this? Why is Mizu changing my information on the account? Again, I assumed the worst. I assumed that for some reason they wanted to kick me out of the account. And I was afraid. I legitimately was at that point, I did not know what was going on. Okay? At that point, again, I don't want to show my DMs with people because I believe that they're sacred, but Mizu has shown his DMs first, so I have unfortunately full authority to show what to show us what happened. I really just don't want it. Whatever, you know. I'm gonna try not to show my friends list here because they're still, that's something I would like to try and keep private. I messaged him at 6:02 after I had realized this and after I had fixed it. Well, actually, wait, hold on. I want to make sure I get the timing right. So, Mizu's an hour ahead. So, I believe this was like 6, so this would be like 6:12. So, I messaged him and asked him if he had changed the stuff. And then I changed it, making sure that, like, it wasn't a hacker. And I'm like, I want to make sure, because he emailed me and I was worried someone was trying to break in, so I had to lock the account. If it is you, you can go ahead and try again. Because, again, at that point, I was afraid that we were about to lose the channel to something else. Okay? And so, Mizu doesn't end up replying to later, and we will come back to Mizu. We're going to go now to Raging Bull. I need to provide some context. I will be talking about Bull a little bit later. How I talk about him is going to be very different from how I talk about Mizu and Lumi. Mizu and Lumi, for all intents and purposes, are my best friends. Some of my best friends. I have multiple best friends. But they are some of my best friends. I have hurt my best friends. Okay? I am going to give them as much kindness as I can.
Hi, Gramps.
when it comes to how I address
Oh my
things.
God. Sorry, I sound nasally as fuck. Ugh.
Bull does not get that. Bull does not get that.
Damn, that sucks.
And I will explain why he does not get that later down the line.
There we go.
Okay? Okay. So why did Mizu change the account first? I'm getting to that because Bull explains it.
The other thing.
Bull explains it here.
How the fuck am I supposed to entertain? I'm waiting for fucking Twitch to get this ad through.
These are our messages here. Let me scroll up. We messaged a lot that morning.
Twitch ad moment.
Okay. And again, there's more of this that I will explain later. Same guy in the cure stock? Yes. I'm just going to say it right now. Raging Bull is the same man who was mentioned in the cure stock. Alright? The same man who participated in that abuse campaign. And I will talk about later.
Join in.
Why I let him into our circle, or why I was okay with it. I personally feel like now that was a mistake, and I will pay for that forever. But I have reasons to why I believed that he was okay. All these back to the cure stock? It does. It does. And I'm fucking tired of that. I'm fucking tired. Like, Kirsten is a good person. I believe that she wants to do good with the world, but I'm fucking tired of that document. A document, like... It's part of the problem, actually. We'll talk about it later. Okay?
What is the Kirsten doc?
Let me move on to this here.
I don't follow,
I don't know how long I'll be live. I was hoping that I could start early, say my piece and get out. It's probably not going to happen. Okay? So, that morning, I wake up, you know, and I realize all this. And then we're talking about Paco, who is the manager, who I will talk about later. He will get mentioned. You guys will learn about the mysterious Paco the Panda.
Okay, so is like Paco fucking dating?
I'm saying that I want to avoid him.
Octo
he says he wants to give
shit?
He wishes he could.
Because they're talking about abusive
give advice for the predicament, saying that that I'm being trapped in an abusive relationship, which I personally don't think so now. I say that I need people to pray for me. Curious is a problem for my actions? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Doc has been something that I feel like everything is coming back to.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna just, like,
so
put this
I
out
say
there,
here,
like,
this morning was scary because I was emailed that someone tried to break into the YouTube account, so I had to lock it down and
this is fucking stupid.
And
like,
into what
actually,
account?
like,
in the main YouTube
I
channel,
don't
I got emails from my account saying that someone changed recovery mail and recovery phone.
Why did they think this was a good idea?
I changed
because,
everything.
Okay, I know they're drama tuners, so it's like in their fucking natures to be like this, but this is stupid tranny drama, like, straight up.
And he says, dumb fuck, we're removing Paco.
They're being fucking
Please remember,
dumb,
by the way,
and I sound so nerdy because I'm congested as hell.
Somebody that at the moment, at the time of him talking to me,
poorly informed drama recaps. So from what I understand, right,
in his quote unquote
they both
agency,
tried to do a channel takeover based on the comments that I'm reading here, right?
Now I understand,
but fucking Mizu was able to get like the fucking public opinion first, but then there's some shit about the fucking what's it called again?
I know Mizu's released screenshots, but is it really making it to reveal all of them? I have to give the context.
Right?
Here's the rules. You don't reveal anything until somebody reveals something else. Then you have to give the context. I am giving every bit of
it's my favorite boy. Let him in. Let him in.
Not give
my favorite boy, my son.
Context.
Bring him in.
Okay. Okay.
Wait.
So let me continue on.
What?
They say remove Paco, and I'm like, Paco isn't in the account.
I got the flu, so I sound like a nerd.
Now this is something.
Okay, first off, I need to. What have I missed in the past?
That I.
Hey, also, can somebody link me the fucking Twitch channel?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I am pretty sure I made the YouTube. I am pretty sure I made
where is it? Let's see.
Why do I believe that? Because before I changed it over and handed it to them, it had my birthday on it. Because when you make an account, you
like,
need to enter in your personal information. My birthday is the
and I'm
easiest thing
like,
that I can remember.
this just sounds like retard
them,
tranny drama.
I put that in there.
Like, the one thing I can assume is that Octo tried to leave because Mizu was gonna probably do something retarded that was gonna taint everybody's name. So then Octo was gonna fucking bail out,
I believe
right?
I am the one who made
because he didn't want to get caught up in Mizu's bullshit because they're a wannabe
worth clarifying here, okay?
right?
I made
this really could have been private for sure.
And I was like, why? He's
That's like every drama.
Like most dramas, 99% of the time can be resolved
This is how hackers steal
privately.
entire channels.
But instead, because these people want to like,
no, it is not 2FA.
fucking have like,
the time,
I don't know, like people see like,
oh, I'm
you know what? The good guy.
2FA on there.
I just tried to save my ass by holding a channel hostage. Like, no.
That's not what they changed.
Absolutely not.
So that wasn't my concern.
Oh god.
Oh, why did it bounce back to me?
Well, it's like I need a tissue.
Hold on a moment. There you are. And I said, I guess I did add 2FA, I'll change it when I get home. And he's like, guess what? Your biometric data is saved in there and that's all I need to get logged in. Take that cap off. As long as your password is good and you don't share it, then it is fine. And
what
talk
did you
to
say?
2 other people because they saw that shit added
That's
and
a
got
tranny,
concerned.
That's a tranny!
This morning,
don't be fooled!
And then Bull says last night,
wait, who's saying what?
No, my boyfriend
work.
heard like some
and
of
then
the
I
shit
said, just
passively.
to make sure, you're
so
saying the recovery email and number is a bad idea too.
Yeah.
And he says the passkey to a
man.
more than a password.
So then,
he
passed by
and I say,
to give me the
okay,
tissues,
because
right?
whoever
And
accessed
then
the account
he was
and
like,
removed
the
my
mom
recovery
like,
email and my number used whatever they put. So
fucking.
I am saying here. I'm asking him here. So is a recovery email and
when is he gonna stream so Jack can steal him from you?
And he is saying yes. And I'm like, okay. Then why did they do it? Why did they add this information? That doesn't make any sense to me. If it is such a security concern for you, why did they add it? Okay?
This is so dumb. Like,
and then he says it was them setting things back to what they were when they removed that stuff. And next time, talk before you do that shit because you never communicated to them you did that stuff. And he said, and I asked, can you calm down, please?
I'm biased. I like her as a person.
I will talk about this later.
Like, fucking out of there. Because, like, she's gonna be sandwiched
she's been very
up
hostile.
by 2 trannies
and some of it is deserved.
Like,
I agree.
like
some of it is deserved. I have been rude. I will explain my rudeness, and it is up to you to decide whether or not that rudeness is fair.
Like,
okay?
Oh my god.
If it is not fair,
like
okay.
A Twitter tranny. Holy
fine.
Shit.
Understood. But
Grandpa, are you okay?
He's not.
Extremely
right now.
Extremely hostile towards the end. And this is the manager that we left for. I mean, okay? This is the manager of Lucky Entertainment. This is the manager who is going to run the account, is going to talk to talents, is going to manage talents, and is going to do all this stuff. This is who is in charge, okay?
Oh god.
Out there.
Drama tubers and drama. Name a better match.
And I say, I'm trying to understand here and I feel like you're demeaning me. Because at this point, I'm not trying to excuse how I'm feeling here.
Zedlar has no mouse must stream.
I am running off of less than 4 hours of sleep. Because the previous night I had a conversation with them.
Trixie, come into the chat!
I wanted.
Come in!
Pilot the Mecha Godzilla!
Talk to them about things and go to bed.
First, Virus is gonna do it, or we're gonna make Virus pilot this. Fuck.
We're making I can't believe I become Godzilla. Holy
make
shit!
Things work. My coworkers recognize that I'm tired and
no, you're not Godzilla. You're a different mech. So let me see if I can find it.
Where I can actually be a little bit tired, but I'm like, listen, can you please chill the fuck out?
Yep.
I'm running on fumes here. I'm still running on fumes here. I haven't slept since early this morning. And he says, I just woke up. Okay, please communicate with Lumi and Mizu before doing things in the future.
Lumi needs to get her ass
and then I go back up to this.
This is the mech you're piloting.
And say,
Trixie gets the Mecha Godzilla.
Why would they add this stuff? Again, going back to
I can't believe it.
Bull himself
I wish I did.
was not secure. Okay? He himself said
I caught a
that stuff is not secure.
on Sunday.
And they are adding it. And so I'm saying, if it is not secure, why would they add this stuff? When the account opened, I added all of this. It has always been there.
God bless you, Zed.
Okay? And I understand.
Like, even some of the chat members are like, is this shit even worth going over?
There have been times where Paco has gotten on my case, and I told him,
realize this is stupid.
I told him he has to take some of the responsibility for everything that went down in terms of Lumi and Mizu leaving.
It should have just been. False alarm, guys. We're just being fucking retards.
Need to be better.
Yeah.
That's screams.
He was never on the channel. He never had any hold on the channel. He was a manager on the YouTube account. That doesn't allow you to do a whole lot. In fact, can I show you what a manager does? Let me see if I can show you what a manager does.
This whole thing's stupid.
Okay? Because I feel like that's important. Because again, I think the major problem here is every single person, myself and everybody else included,
like, oh my god,
we're moving with their feelings.
I look forward to like I look forward to the inevitable tax frauds.
Yeah.
Because I really doubt anybody's gonna know how to manage a business and then like deal with the fucking IRS and shit.
Yeah.
That led to where we are. Let me channel. Where is it? Permissions. Here we go. Well, I don't want to show his information.
Because, like,
fuck.
Did a really bad job explaining their actions. Because two retards don't make one right action.
Give me a moment. Okay? I'm gonna screenshot this here. Because I am not really intent on doxing individuals here. Give me a moment.
I think Lumi has a little buff, is a little less retarded, mostly because having a kid.
Yeah.
You get a little buff, intelligent buff.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. Yeah, like plus
I will get to that. I have to tell you what led up to this, because
it ain't much.
I just need to.
It's on his intelligence.
Okay? That's why, like, part of me wants to be like,
everything will be explained.
You should probably get out of there, because you actually, from what I understand, she has like a pretty decent crowd of like people who don't let her Pollocksburging.
Okay, cool.
And like,
give me a moment to upload the screenshot
actually streaming to a decent amount of people. She doesn't need to do drama anymore. She can just phase herself out. But Octo and fucking Mizu, they're just gonna drag her back down. She shouldn't really be involved in this. She should just be like. I
mean, I was gonna say with Lumi.
Ironically, Pac was telling me to do multiple times of this.
And she's safe.
We'll see.
I was gonna say with Lumi, she does hang around in like that, which I mean, sort of hang around with sort of Fat Otaku.
Right? Anyway,
kind of. They just in like the Archcast or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that I got with her. Like, Ev is like an annoying fat fuck.
The actual list of people, but this is how
he's the dude that like keeps on bringing the Piggy drama. So like, oh, she's weak. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Hopefully he doesn't talk. Thankfully, he moves on to Kershaw nowadays.
Content, all right. That's what Paco was.
Hold on.
He did not have access.
Fucking stream crashed, so we're
to
just fucking
the email that they changed.
Wait, it crashed?
Yeah,
he did not have access.
A long time ago, buddy.
It's still going on Kick. I see it on Kick.
Wait, for real? I'm on Odyssey. That's why.
Yeah. You're on a Sneed, formerly Chucks.
Oh my god, I sound like a seed! Save my ass, I sound like a Sneed. Actually, oh god, I
delete the channel. He could delete content.
Trixie, get in the chat!
And
Trixie, get in!
Highly the Mecha Godzilla, or we're gonna make Virus probably the fucking. What the hell was that when I bought? I don't even know the name of the thing I put.
Look at analytics. His goal is to look at everything.
Oh, Magura! Maguro?
We'll get into that.
Magura. She's gonna pilot the Mogu.
Tomorrow, but we'll get through that. Let me go back to our.
Yeah, but I just kind of think that Octo's trying to make
and let me just say really quickly,
the victim.
She's always been when
so like
There is no victims. All tarred.
After,
victim.
when
Like,
Lumi
I
and
don't
Mizu
care
became
what they
part
think
of
about,
the
like, what a manager does. Like, you
I added
still
him
try to
myself,
blackmail channel.
and I added
Knowing
him
that
with
this
the
fucks
idea
up
that he was
algorithm
going to
and
help
shit
us
like
the way
that,
he had helped
because
me.
you don't want Mizu's
Because-
fucking shit all over you.
And this is going to be a reoccurring
Like,
theme.
Man, you might as well
Paco
say you're already
has
transitioned.
helped
Jesus
me.
Christ.
All right, I'm gonna have to give you my whole life story with this guy, in order for people to understand how much he has helped me and why I vouch for him the way I do. But Paco has helped me. Okay? And there have been moments, especially last night, where I felt trapped and worried about if I've made the right choices. But overall, I think I have. Moving on now. We'll talk about that. I hate to push stuff off, but I have to stay on topic, and we'll address things as they come up. And if you have
can't
specific
slash your
questions
wrist.
relating to
Disable
that,
it
I
on
will
the
try to get to
desktop,
it.
if I'm correct,
Okay,
right?
cool.
But you still need the 2FA.
But anyway,
Wait, what
I
happened?
say this, and then
No,
he
they're talking
says,
about
it was your email and
2FA
phone number used. All I know is
on your phone,
that when
right?
they looked, they saw
You know
Pop
what's
on the
funny,
channel,
Zed? I was about to bring up
2FA
Linkin Park,
phone.
specifically the
That's all I
song
know.
Bleed It
And this
Out.
was not actually removed.
And like,
still
it was mostly
on my
because
phone.
like, man,
It
why
was
does it
still
sound like?
on
Why
my
does the
system.
chorus sound like it's about a tampon?
Okay?
I
Cool.
bleed it out.
And then I say, I'm tired, man. I'm running on next to no sleep. And he says, let's not talk
Honestly,
about
at
this.
this point, they could have just
This
made a
early,
new channel.
when
and
neither
told
of
people,
the
hey,
others are
this is what
available.
we're
It
gonna
wasn't
do,
a hacker.
but-
End of concern. I said,
know.
when I finally did wake up and I saw this, I was worried you guys didn't want me. Now, when I finally realized who actually it was, I was afraid that they didn't want me. Because, again, the last couple of months have been real shit. I will claim attribution for a decent chunk of that, and I will own up to all of my mistakes.
I'm listening, because
Tonight, I will say them, no matter how horrible they are, I will say them tonight. But it reached a head last night, and when I had seen that my recovery information, that again, I put on the channel when I made the account almost a year ago, I was under the impression that they were trying to remove me, and that they just hadn't done the rest of it yet. I was under the impression that they were just choosing to cold ice me out, and that Bull was lying to me, and the only reason I believe that is because he has a history of acting like this with people that he doesn't like.
What?
View the Curious doc if you want, if that makes more sense. And I assumed the worst, alright? I assumed the worst. I assumed that they were trying to ice me out, that I was being lied to, and that I should just... Yeah. Okay? And he said, and I said, do you still want me? And he says, yes, don't jump the gun. I gotta get ready for work. And I said, I'm not trying to jump to anything. I was caught off guard by emails I saw when I woke up. I didn't even open them because I was worried things were already compromised. I mean, how would you react? It's tied to my bank, my AdSense account. It's in my name.
Be like,
which it
hey
is.
guys,
The
some shit happened. Do you know what's up with that?
But
Thank
my
you.
main
That type of
accounts that are attached to this, or was attached to this, was in my name. Has my information. It has my AdSense account, where all of my money comes from every single month.
Was, like,
it's
your
tied
AdSense
to all
account.
of that.
Like, do you open up
And
any
I was
email
afraid
that
that
said,
I had
hey,
lost
I'm
it.
a Nigerian guy from Guyana.
So,
fucking
did I jump the gun?
What's the
I don't think so. Okay?
Copy
When it came
pasta?
to protecting
Do
the
you
account,
know what the copy pasta is with the
I
Nigerian
don't think I jumped the
prince?
gun. I think I woke up and literally thought, my gosh, do I have enough time to fix this before it actually like ends into a shit stain? But I don't think I jumped the gun. Until I legitimately had this conversation with Bull, until I had this conversation and he said all of this, I was fully intending to text Mizu the new password and give him the new information and just tell them, listen, wait until I am there. Alright? That brings up another point that worries me. They did this while I was asleep. They did this after I had a rough conversation with them. After I had tried to be emotional and fix things. And so, I'm sorry, I'm losing my point here, but all of this compounded convinced me that they didn't want me anymore. It convinced me that they wanted me gone and that they just didn't want to tell me.
That's kind of why your podcast fell apart.
Because as I have reviewed myself and as I have reviewed through my own review of our year together, we don't tell each other things. We don't explain things to each other. I have a crime. That is my crime.
The thiefies.
And that is something that I believe we all didn't do.
Also,
okay?
I just realized something.
I believe that there are multiple times when I have not said something and it's led to miscommunication. There have been multiple times where I know Mizu has not said something and it's led to miscommunication. And I know that Lumi has not said something and it's led to miscommunication. Why? Because we're friends and we don't want to hurt our feelings. Okay? So I assumed that they wanted to disconnect from me because I had already been told by Mizu earlier that he already felt like he needed to disconnect from me. And so I was under the impression that I just needed to leave. I continued my day. When the first break came, I sat down with Paco and I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. This has been an issue. I feel like I'm stepping in it too much. My emotions are coming before what's important to me. My job has been affected. My content creation has been affected, and I am unable to continue on. I would rather just leave the podcast and move on. And he's like, I agree. He's like, you have, unironically, you know, even though Paco really isn't at fault for this, he has watched this. He has seen how I've been. And he unironically was just like, I think you need to leave. I think you need to leave. I think you need to wish them well. I think you need to detach. I think you need to, I just think that you need to leave it. And I was like, I agree. After that, I decided that if I was to leave, I wanted my name scrubbed. And this gets again into the crime that I did. The thing that I did actually like make a stupid mistake on. Okay?
No. Say it's because you don't want Mizu's shit on you. That's
I wanted
the truth.
To detach, but anything with me had to also go as well. And the reason why?
That's mad cap.
I'll be honest with you.
You never learned.
I felt sad. I felt depressed. Scorched earth, no. And some people are like, oh, you want to hide from drama? No, I'm going to talk about drama. When I start streaming after all of this again, I'm going right back to drama because and pop culture because that's what I love. That's what I do. But I looked back at everything that I had built with my friends and I felt shame because I felt like I had just let myself down. I let my friends down. I let just everybody down. And I felt like I had wasted my time only for it to just fall apart.
What I understand, it sounds like they tried to kick him out and then he retaliated by trying to basically
that wasn't that's not the right move.
Branding,
obviously.
And then tried to blackmail them.
So
oh my god, sorry for missing it.
When lunchtime came, I paid them out because the AdSense account had paid me recently, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay them out. I'm gonna give them what they're owed, and then I want to come to the table, just letting them know. and that's where we've led to now. That's how we are in the place we are in now. I mean, like, there's no other, there's no basically, there is literally just, I'm done. I'm walking away. If I had any more tact, I probably could have done this better. I definitely could have done this better. And I am just gonna come out and say it. I am sorry that this happened. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's what happened. I freaked out. I thought they didn't want me there anymore. I wanted out. And I decided that I just didn't want the content to... I was ashamed. I was ashamed by the fact that I was leaving behind something.
At that point, you just gotta live with it.
And that's not really the... That is not the only reason.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't like supposed to be a business.
It didn't matter if the content was
now,
gone.
That's just deal with it.
Because it's not a serious channel. And let me explain that really quickly here. Let me explain this. Underthetea was not supposed to be a business venture. That's how I thought it was supposed to be. When we started this, I knew it was a for fun project, okay? It was a for fun project. It developed into what I thought was a business the moment we started handling money. The moment I had to put my legal name onto the AdSense account, the moment that the bank account that was in my name was added to it, I thought that this was being taken as a business. And I thought they did too. And that's my mistake. And this is something that is discussed in one of the recordings I have, but I learned that I am the only one that wanted that. It sounds
like the three of you just had different ideas. Because from what
I learned that I am the only one that wanted to turn this podcast here
drama aspects
into an Archcast,
right?
into a side scrollers, into a Timcast. I was the only one that wanted that. But they wanted it to be a for fun project where you meet every single Thursday, shoot the shit with your friends, and then you go. And, you know, if it gets big, it gets big, but it's not supposed to be a serious thing. That's what I was told. And so my thought process was, if it's just a for fun show, why do you care about the analytics? Why do you care how YouTube works? Now, that's very short-sighted and wrong. But that's what I was thinking at the time. And, you know, I know I'm wrong. But that's just is what it is.
NDA.
That just is what it is. Why couldn't it have been both? I wanted it to be both. I wanted to, like, literally, chat. The reason why Paco was there is because if he could make me grow, I believed he could make the podcast grow. Here's what I said earlier. Literally, do you want to know what we... Actually, I can't say that. That I am under NDA. I can't say that. But you want to know what we were planning on doing? We were planning on doing more videos. We were planning on adding more content. Because the live streams are fine, like, but the channel stops fucking growing the moment we stop streaming. Like, and yeah, they get a subscriber here or there. Maybe people are interested in listening to the interview with Merriweather that we did. But the channel does not grow outside of the live streams significantly the way that we want it to be. So, I didn't know, I assumed that it just didn't matter. Which is wrong. I agree, it's wrong. It was wrong of me to assume that the videos didn't matter. So, that's my fault. I am not trying to sugarcoat it or, you know, But yeah, that's my fault. So that's what happened. I mean, there's more that goes into it. I don't want to, like, speak out all of the shit from behind the scenes. But I feel like I need to. And that's partially my fault.
Lid.
What?
No, you said one
if
about
Mizu didn't
validation,
reveal
so
any
I'm like,
DMs, I
bad
would
lids.
not have shared any of them. And he's told me that the only reason why he did it is because he was desperate. And I'm not going to try and invalidate him when it comes to his feelings. Okay? I'm not going to invalidate that. However, he was trying to get me to move, at first, trying to get me to move mountains while I was at work, when I'm not supposed to be on my phone, when I'm supposed to be interacting with the work job.
Okay. Ooh,
Um,
nigga. Everybody has a fucking
and that did kind of piss me off. That did kind of piss me off. It made me want to disengage even further. It made me not want to talk to him even further, because it's just like, I will get to you when I get to you. I don't care how you're feeling right now. I'm trying to stay awake so my boss doesn't fucking fire me. You can wait. But he kept going and going. And then I get out of work, and he's like, well, you know what? I'll just be transparent. I'll just be transparent. I don't want anything to be left up to interpretation. I don't want anything to be left up to interpretation. So this is in the morning.
This before
where
work.
he wakes up and
And then
realizes,
the guy got reasonably pissed
actually, no,
off
this
that
is,
you weren't handing this over,
that's
right?
last night. This is this morning. This is 11:30. He's like, "What's the password?"
Yeah, but why would you
says,
do
you need to ask
that?
before you do that. You
And then
lock this
just
out
be like,
entirely.
well, you gotta wait for me until I'm done with
ASAP,
work.
please. I need to fix this.
Wait, did he do it during
This
work?
is after I make the
No,
message.
he locked them
saying
out of
it
the
is a
channel,
friend-ruining
right?
bridge
Then went to work.
if I do this.
And then Mizu is messaging about
And
the
at that point, I had already disengaged.
But he's like,
because
I'm busy at work. Why are you bothering me at work?
I
And
was
it's
at
like,
work.
because
And
you
again,
locked them out.
I understand. People need answers. Okay? There have been times where I feel like I needed answers.
It's stupid. Why would you do that? You actively
But I
fucked
couldn't
them over.
respond
You're
at that
trying
point.
to like avoid.
And I wasn't going to respond at that point
You
because I
tried
needed to be
You're
on my phone
trying
as
to
least as
avoid
possible.
responsibility.
And I'm upset they're mad. I'm not upset they're mad.
By
I
saying,
was
but
just
how
upset
about
that
work?
it kept happening.
Nigga, go
Because
to the
when I was at
bathroom.
work, he knows I'm
Give
at
them
work.
the credentials.
He knows my
and then
work
get
phone.
out of there.
He knows when I'm supposed to be not on my phone.
Exists.
Yeah.
Look at me, chat. I'm Zendrea.
So it's like,
Keep
you know,
them off the
And,
damn phone or
you know,
fucking give it to
things,
them.
things progress.
Stop making a fucking pity
And I
party
eventually
for
say,
yourself.
Watchalong, I have stated what the terms were, because I was not at that point in the methods of negotiation. I need to be careful here because I'm pretty sure I posted the password. Actually, you know, let me just...
I found a TTS.
Actually, it's an old password anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Enough to
Give me a
fucking
moment.
lock them out of the channel, though. Like, what the fuck?
Well, this is a very timely gift.
This, by the way, just... I understand tensions are high. Mizu. And man, I love you to death. You're a
Where
cool
is the
guy.
Emperor
At one point, I thought I was in love with you. That was, you know, it's pretty gay to say, but you know, he was a cool person to hang out with. But I can't. It makes it hard for
At least
me
some of the comments
to work with people if he's going to say this. And again, I understand
like, actively like calling them out.
when tensions are high. You need the information, but I just wasn't available.
Shout out to Moshi. They're actually getting like.
And I was just like, I have stated my terms, and the terms were the message. And he's like, you're refusing to communicate. And I did. I was refusing to communicate. I was shutting down. So, I just didn't want to communicate with it. He said, this is blackmail. Now, I personally didn't see it as
doesn't matter
blackmail.
if it's under your name. You basically try
I
to
can understand where people are coming from.
This is also very gay.
But the problem is, the problem is it was under my name. And this gets into... Chat, this is where I get into the problem I have. Okay? Let me get into the problem I have. Again, I understand that I screwed up, alright? You are more than welcome to say that I screwed up, and I agree. I screwed up. That's why I changed my mind. When I recognized just how stupid I was, and I had talked to Paco, again, Paco, the guy that everybody says has screwed people over and is rude. Yeah, he's rude. He's the one that said, you know, it's pretty dumb of you to do this. Just let it go.
Hey, the gamer words.
Gamer words. Gamer words.
Okay, you know, I decided to give it away.
Hey, is that Honey?
He called Lumi lazy?
Yeah,
no, he called...
Yeah.
He called Mizu lazy.
I didn't know she wants to.
He has words for Lumi, but I will... We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay? Okay. Own up to my mistake? I am owning up to my mistake. I fucked up. Okay? I fucked up. If I could have done it over, I would have changed up some things, obviously. So, it's under my name, but it's a group thing. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. All right? Okay. Underthetea.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of thinking that too.
Yes. It is a group thing. We started it as a group. Started off as Lumi and Mizu. Looks like it's gonna end as Lumi and Mizu. And I came in and helped to direct things. Now, chat, we've had multiple episodes, multiple different things that went on.
Everyone involved is retarded.
We are where we are now. So why did I act the way I did? And I'm not trying to justify it. I am not going to justify what I did, all right? I am just trying to explain to you why it led to the way we are now. Okay? Okay? After that, you can tell me whether or not you think that's dumb,
no,
or
I
gay,
still think
or whatever.
It's the female ones.
Why don't you bring Paco in? I can ask him.
Never argue with a woman on her period.
I'll tell you what. I'll ask if he wants to come in.
Everyone
involved. Want to hear from him?
This is going turbo-tard.
Okay. I'll ask him. He mentioned wanting to just let me take care of this, but yeah. Anyway, while I'm waiting for a response from him, let's talk about the podcast here just a little bit, all right? Let's talk about the podcast a little bit, all right? So, chat. This is where I am going to explain the build-up, okay? I've already gotten to the Trashfire. If you were here for just the Trashfire, that's it. Now we're going to talk about
the podcast.
Why it led to that spot. All right? All right. The podcast was started from all three of us. That is correct. But it was not led by all three of us. What I mean by that is, a majority of the streams, a good chunk of them, were not led by all three of us. All of the well, not all of them. Obviously not all of them. Some of them were going to be made by others. but a good chunk of the thumbnails, I would say 90% of the thumbnails in here, 90% of the shows, 90% of all of the things that went into it, not all the research, because the research we all did collectively, and it did get less and less over time, and we'll talk about that. But all of these streams here, do you want to know who set them up? Do you want to know who worked on them? Do you want to know who lost sleep preparing
I just realized
for them,
that Wyrus is
asking
typing in his
Paco
chat.
if these thumbnails look
Wyrus,
good, even though it's not his thing and he's not making money off of it? Do you want to know who did all of that? I did. I put this together. I put this stream together. I ran the show. I did everything. Okay? I pressed go live. I mean, I still have the Underthetea assets under here. It is all like 90%. I ran this. And I don't mind that.
Sorry.
Okay? Research was done by the community? Yes, research was also done by the community. And I am
True did
really grateful
everything,
for that.
guys.
But I ran the show.
No,
I
really.
directed the conversation. I asked questions. I had things going on.
Yeah.
I helped do things. I put this together. And I got sick of that, man. Like, from the beginning here, in the beginning when we're talking about VT Rainbow Exposed here, man, when we still have the old overlay with the 3D bedroom, man, that's fucking cringe. Like, the longer this went on, and I want to say it was probably around here when it started to, like, change, maybe even around
Sark
here.
and Wyrus can't hear me, so this amuses
It became
me.
less about having my friends speak and more about me directing the conversation and asking for opinions. Okay? And let me tell you, that is fucking tiring as hell when you already run your own show and you're trying to also do a full-time job and you're trying to manage everything else. Okay? And I didn't want that, okay? I didn't want the Akko show starring Akko. I wanted the Underthetea podcast starring all of us, okay? Because I didn't start this podcast. I didn't start this podcast. But by the end of it, by this episode, I was the one doing a majority of the talking. Now, to be fair, I do talk a lot.
No,
I
honestly,
agree, I do talk a lot.
I've been
And that is
listening
something
to
that
Akko
me
talk
and
for like the
Mizu
last
have
10
constantly
minutes,
talked
and they're
about.
basically trying to say, this is why I should have just
But it
moved
became
the
a problem
channel,
for me
and like, you
because
shouldn't have
as
gotten
things
it
have
because I did
evolved,
all the work.
as
That's
more
all she's
has
been
been
saying the
I would
entire
say
time.
Rise caught a
right
lethal
about
case of
here,
glorious
Like,
Nepalese.
that's
with
basically what
this
they're
stream
trying
and
to say the
onwards,
entire time.
with my new
Oh
job
shit, my nose. One second.
that I'm undertaking, I was under increased pressure,
I'm
less
honestly
and
barely
less
paying
sleep.
attention.
I've never had a job actually where I've actually
Like, even
taken
here,
less
I
than
can
4 hours of
outright
sleep to
say,
work at,
like, to
especially
Zen,
in a
like,
job that's
what
as
is even
dangerous
the
as this
point
one.
of listening to this?
But
They're
Wyrus
just trying
knows
to
can't
justify
stop.
their
But,
actions, and chat's not buying it.
what I'm trying to say is, I reached a breaking point. Last Sunday, while I was preparing for my stream with Temp, oh, he wasn't there, I fucking broke down. Okay?
You're free to bail. Nah, I want to wait until the after chat discussion.
I lost it.
I honestly don't know what their pronouns is,
and
to be honest.
I realized
female,
that my
it.
time is so stretched thin that it was close to hurting me.
Octo's a dude. Oh.
Like, I had taken days
I
off of
swear to
work
God,
and lost pay because of that, and I
I might
couldn't do
be
that
dumb.
anymore. And I was
Their
like,
voice changer
okay,
is
I
throwing me
have
off.
to reduce the pain.
I have the depth
And I said,
perception
where
of
can I
like a
reduce the pain?
3-year-old. I know
What
it's
can
a
I
trans.
fix? Where
But
where
it's
can
like,
I go?
ugh.
And I was like, I do a lot for the podcast. I do a lot for the streams. I upload the.
I
I
have
make
the superior
thumbnails.
voice changer.
which is like 10-20 minutes at most, maybe longer if I'm trying to jump back and forth.
This really could have been down to like communicate your shit, and then you had a grifter basically be like, yeah, you should do this, and then you went to work without notifying anyone.
Hell, I felt like
this could have been an email.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
no amount of justifying really changes that. You both already fucked up. Like
hosting the Akko show starring Akko and Lumi and Mizu. Alright? That's not what I wanted. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up to have a sit around with my two friends where we talk about VTuber drama and occasionally pop culture, and we bring people on.
Zentrunia.
So...
Skironk.
I asked
Skironk.
I was like, I need to have a talk with you guys. And Bull is the one that pulls them together. Bull is able to get Lumi and Mizu to do a meeting, which is great.
I'm more surprised like they keep yapping and like half of the chat is like,
before
dude, you need
that
to
meeting,
stop.
we
like,
hadn't actually had a meeting outside of the few minutes in between the podcasts that we have. And so to have him get them together for a meeting,
Skironk.
It was kind of insulting, because again,
Skironk.
It's Raging Bull that is able to get together my friends for a
Because
meeting.
people are asking, like, you want it to be a fun
and
thing,
I know that
but then
they're
you also
busy,
want it to be a business, which
and I know that they're all that stuff, but it just sucks that Raging Bull is the one that got everybody together for a meeting.
More Godzilla noises.
And I get into a call with them. And I have the phone call. It's 2.5 hours.
You already released it. Might as well go scorch
and
earth.
I don't want to listen to the entire 2.5 hours tonight. I will make sure that no private information is exchanged, and then I think I'll just upload it. Did I want it to be a business, or did it be a nice fun little friend thing? When I first started, it was a fun little friend thing.
It
evolved into a business.
Stop explaining. Stop talking.
And
release the VTuber Trenifesto.
At least I thought it evolved into a business with my friends. Don't upload it. I feel like I have to. I feel like I need to explain everything that's going on. I feel like I am going to deprive people of understanding if I don't. Did it turn into a business, or did I want it to turn into a business? The moment that you exchange money and you have to do taxes for something, it becomes a business. Okay? Okay? So, at the moment we accepted Super Chats is when it became a business. And I entered that call with the idea that in 30 minutes or less, I was going to tell them, listen, I can't be the showrunner anymore. I need somebody else to take over.
Money and whores. Name a more iconic duo.
And the entire time I was in that conversation, I felt horribly demeaned. I'm not trying to sound like a broken whore. But that's what I felt like. I had gone in there with the intention to ask them for help, and what I got was people telling me that I'm wrong.
Godless whores.
That the reason why I do all the work is because I don't let anybody else do it. That nobody else speaks up because I already say everything. And that doesn't work. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I probably listen. You guys say no. I probably won't. We'll see.
Well, I better reboot my computer before tomorrow then.
Okay. But the entire time, I am sitting there and I am realizing that my friends that I have started a podcast with...
Yeah, I'm just putting it in the chat because they're being...
They don't want to have a business. And that was a miscommunication. On my end. And honestly, I think that should have been the that should have been the breaking point. That should have been the point where I'm like, you know what, I just need to leave. Because, and this is going to sound harsh, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but I can't do things for free anymore. I can't just stream for fun. It's great. I enjoy it. But with the amount of burden in my life, I have to find value in everything
Dumbasses
I do.
all around. Nigger nerds rise up.
I was told that this podcast was never intended to be a business. Okay? And because it was not supposed to be a business, I was told that it shouldn't be treated as one. Okay, cool. I think from that point on, I realized that... Hold on. I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't want notifications to show up on this. That's not the... That's not... No.
I got Lloyd. Touch the poop. Because it's like, no, you need to stop talking. You need to get off of stream.
I was told the
stop
entire time
having
that I
your
was
pity
wrong.
party. Stop playing victim.
Now,
you want to go legit?
That's
stop
not
doing
all that
this
happened
drama
during the
crap.
call. Okay?
You already got Mizu's shit all over you.
I did get upset. Okay? During that recording, I hit nerves that...
Don't touch poop.
Why is my chat not working? Hold on. Is it working? Okay, good. During that conversation, I brought up a lot of previous things that I had suppressed. And the reason why I had suppressed them
Hunii is another
because
lolcalf.
they were my friends.
All these tards aren't ready for primetime lolcos.
It's just
and
it's like you don't know
there.
what
my
the
friends.
fuck you're trying
And
to
because
do.
they're my friends, I didn't want to say rude things to them. I didn't want to reiterate things that I had heard, harsh things that come from business people. Now, I don't want to say those things out loud again. If they choose to air them out, I will, again, I will say them. But I don't want to reiterate what was said. Because I don't believe it at the end of the day. I don't believe what I thought.
Hunii is rolling around in the poop.
I don't know. That sounds like
Gee,
stupid.
I thought
probably
Mizu
should
was
say,
a guy.
I know, right? I was like, wait, chotto mate.
Chotto.
Basically, I insulted.
I hear it again.
I insulted Mizu's growth, and I told Lumi she's overworked.
Zed, is Mizu a tranny?
I think that
I
Lumi
know
is
that they
overworked.
said they detransitioned.
LOL.
I think that
LMAO even.
But
she does a lot. And I really am jealous that she's able to do a lot. Please stop. Listen, don't... let me move along. Their growth is slow. Nothing wrong to point out about that. It is if it's a friend. Okay? Okay? When Mizu is your friend, and yeah, you see him struggling, and yeah,
Back to him.
You're told by your manager that he's a red flag because he doesn't grow,
I mean,
and that he gets suspended all the time.
Dead weight.
Yeah, that really hurts to hear. How do you think I felt? It hurt to hear those things because he's my friend, and that I would do anything for him, and that I would go to bat for him. There were multiple times that Paco said, from a business perspective, Mizu was dead weight.
Fucking Shotokan one, right?
Troon tears soon.
Okay?
Yeah, the one that likes this. Yeah, Shotokan, yeah.
And I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted to help Mizu. That's part of the reason why I enjoyed doing this, is because I believed that I could help them myself, because I wanted them to continue to grow. And I feel utterly horrible for how I took it. Paco is toxic? No. Paco is a businessman. Is it rude what he said? Yes. It is rude what he said. But is he a businessman that has to look at things? And when you're in a business, do you have to look at things and make assessments?
Burn,
yes.
baby, burn.
But
Disco Inferno.
You're basically trying to say you try to make the channel into a business when the other two didn't want to make it a business. At that point, you guys should have split up.
I tried to get them into Juniper. Okay? My biggest mistake is that I tried to mold people that didn't want to be molded. I tried to convince Lumi and Mizu to jump into something that they don't want to be a part of. And that sucks. And trust me, I get it. Yeah, it sucks to hear. It sucks to hear from your manager that axes people. It really sucks to hear your friends aren't working.
The molded one. Troon was Pippa the whole time.
As much of a businessman as
How
I
could you
am
have been
a
so
businessman.
blind?
I don't know
That's just
shit
what happened,
about
though.
business.
Blame Doubt.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
But again, I'm trying to impress upon you guys. I don't like hearing that. And I don't like saying it.
God, I really want to say to Octo,
I
you
don't
don't
like
know shit about business,
dealing
but
with
I'm
the
not touching
thought
this poop. They're too retarded. I'm sorry.
My manager and one of my friends don't see eye to eye, and my manager just doesn't want to work with
said
them.
the poop toucher. Correct.
That's just business.
Like, this is kind of frustrating
as much as
to
I hate it,
hear.
That's just
like,
business.
They keep trying to justify their actions, right?
And
like, I wanted to turn. It wasn't supposed to be a business, but now it's a business.
I take responsibility
and I
for
wanted
putting
to be
Mizu
a
in that
business.
place.
And I almost got kicked out, so I tried to take the channel and blah 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 blah. And it's like
something that
shit, man. You could have just done this in DMs. This should have been a conversation earlier, not now.
So, yeah, that's my fault. I take responsibility for pushing them into that because I honestly thought that it would help. And so I don't know that again, that whole phone call just sucked.
How do you feel about this whole thing?
I have resolved that
you find it entertaining. You got some extra thoughts about this?
Maybe I was gonna leave Paco and just. Well, at that point, I did leave Paco because at this point we weren't part of. Juniper. We had left, and I was part of Bull's little thing. And you know that was all going on.
Oh my god, this is so fucking edgy.
Yeah, you're TTSing to chat. There's TTS.
That's just business.
Shit.
Yes.
I had the
Again,
thing muted because
I don't like
hear my
it.
voice.
I don't enjoy it. My mistake is that I subjected my friends to that. All right. If anything, I want them to hate me because of that more than any of the other stuff I put them through. Because if I didn't put them through that, this probably wouldn't have happened. I said that podcast rarely survive a year. Yeah.
Cry more.
I was challenging the universe. Friends handle it. I should have just not involved the podcast. Music is. I hate this music. Give me a moment.
I don't think Honey ever returned to group format. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Bitch business.
That's toxic, or he's a crap businessman? No, that's just business. That's how how cutthroat the content creation world is.
10 minutes ago. Oh.
That's how sucky it is. You know, you get told that you suck, and if you don't move on, you get fired. That's how regular jobs are too. But again, I shouldn't have subjected them to that. So, treating the podcast like a business? Yeah, I know. That was my mistake. One of my mistakes. I should have been a guest, maybe.
Kill yourself.
A manager sabotaged my streaming career because nobody wants to follow a soulless business. I'm not following a soulless business. I failed to hold on to my principles. What principles have I failed? I don't know. I'm gonna say that
Wait, what the hell is Juniper?
I think that's her new stream group
I don't know.
or whatever. His new one.
Oh, okay.
I just hate how all that was supported.
Oh my god. Give me a second. I'm gonna blow my nose.
Like, if I could do it over again, none of them are in Juniper.
I have no mic and I must spurg.
You know? I'm sorry that I subjected them to that. It doesn't mean it has to be successful. Have we not been paying attention to business groups destroying themselves? Yeah, they do. Again, there's a lot I'm not allowed to say because I'm under NDA. But
Copy and pasting to both TTS and chat so that Wyrus doesn't have to listen to herself.
do I think he's a good or bad businessman? Chat?
My god, I love you. You're the greatest. Love you, Gramps.
I have seen his portfolio. I can ask him to send it to me if you want. But he has managed successful people. Between Paco and Bull, who do I choose? Paco! Paco isn't the one that... Again, have you read the Kirsch doc? Do you really want me to bring up the Kirsch doc? Bull is an emotional fucker that gets with his feelings. Part of the reason why he's included in the doc is because he let his emotions speak for him. That's why I don't want to be near him. Even if Paco made bad choices, or if he's just talking about your friends, I mean, if you're talking about friends, I would choose my friends, but it like...
Fat Fox find him finally.
I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying. I'm throwing my friends under the bus? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, where you're talking about.
Fat Fox find him
my
finally.
friends are the best for my manager.
Fuck off SFO.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I chose business over friends. I didn't choose business over friends. I wanted to make my friends the business, and that was my mistake. I don't know. Like, if I could have done it over, I wouldn't have involved them, and we would have been great.
This is thing retardation. Why does Windows have to update today? Damn, I don't know.
This is a singularity of retardation. Why does Windows have to update today to bork my microphone? Fuck my life.
I agree. I agree. Am I gonna try to talk to them again? That's not up to me. I would like to. I would like to mend things. I like them. Here's what I'll say, chat.
Two kickbots in one day too.
Bring in my manager?
I mean, there's always plan B where you can use their phone.
Yeah, true.
I'll try.
Honestly, I'm having more entertainment messing around with my resistant band like I'm currently tied up.
Yeah, so in the other chat, Honey's like asking what the fuck is going on because basically like everything that Octo is saying is like,
why is that showing up?
Excuses upon excuses, right? So they've been like word sounding the entire time that no one understands what the fuck they're trying to do. You know? Like, we don't know if this was supposed to be a friend group, if this was supposed to be a business, like, make some shit clear. My god.
So do you think Proctor is gonna dump his Octo coins?
No, I'm not taking Mizu's or Octocoin's side because this sounds dumb, to be honest. I think Libby should just, like, peace out.
I know you guys want me to sleep, but unfortunately, there's more I gotta say, but like
they're trying to justify their actions by saying like, oh my god,
Proctor wants his
I wanted to make a business. I tried to make my friends a business, but I still want to be friends. And it's like, so what was your plan here? Like, if you didn't want it to be a business, you would have never taken the channel hostage.
I brought my friends in.
The plan was fucking we ball.
True.
To something that I shouldn't have.
Also, I heard somebody say true.
I wanted to leave the podcast.
Proctor wants his bussy though.
That was
partially
me.
To alleviate that, but like.
Dude, no. Wait a minute.
Proctor wants his
and
bussy
when I get
though.
sick, my voice, it's the only time I can
Am
actually
I capable?
make my voice
I think if I can
deeper
call, no, probably.
somewhat. I don't know what it sounds like.
Drop the manager. Okay. I can't drop the manager, chat. Do you wanna know why I can't drop the manager? Do you wanna know why I've stuck my neck out for 4 years? I've been here as long as I have. Do you wanna know why
YOLO.
I'm still here with his name attached to me?
I don't know. Like...
God, how long is she gonna go on? He gonna go on with this?
This is very personal for me. And I'm not trying to... Again, I don't want your fucking sympathy. I just need to explain this.
I gotta do my job.
I trust him. I kind of need to. I kind of have to. Chat. I live in the same state. Not just same state, live in the same city. With talent. Other talent of his that he used to work with. I work with him. And I am in a decent amount of debt.
I'm in a decent amount of debt. Fucking work your job. Get a second one.
Save money. Stop spending money. Stop spending money.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, just stop spending money on useless
YOLO.
shit. Like estrogen or whatever.
Okay, but clothes is not useless, Virus.
What?
I was gonna say, like, I'm also in debt too, and I know, but clothes ain't useless to me.
Nah, I got it up because I had to pay for the hotel and the plane ticket. So that kind of fucked me up.
No, I don't owe a debt to him. He's done a lot of things for me for free. But I am stuck where I am.
I'm just glad, like, next month is, like... I'm glad by weekly
The pandemic was not kind to me.
Checks next month.
Oh yeah, let's go!
I have...
Making it rain, popping champagne.
Taken on
making a
debts
stripper
that
making a
I
stripper
shouldn't have. And it really sucks.
Pouring coke off of off of like some.
Who has dirt on who?
And he offered to help me.
New TTS Google.
Being Octo being deaf. That's what I assume. Is that when you mean Torian? Torian, get in here.
Yeah, why aren't you in here?
You know, so far he has. He's helped me find housing.
New
He's helped me
TTS
find a
Google.
job. He's helped me find a lot of different things.
Oh, the manager.
Um.
So, I guess I could see why they say that managers tend to be groomers.
And I'm not saying that, like, I owe him anything. Because I could leave, probably.
Oh, Louie's here.
I could probably, like, leave, but, like, I'm stuck where I am. I'm stuck where I am. And...
New TDS Go.
Zen, care to explain? Are you the dumb, what is it called, dumb daddy little girl?
I don't know.
Confident because he thought by playing victim,
I don't know.
people are gonna have like his side on the whole matter, but instead it's just people are telling him to shut the fuck up.
Oh, here comes the tears.
Like... I'm not asking for. Again, I'm not asking.
Cry more, bitch.
I think I'm just a caged animal. That's pretty much it.
That's about it.
That's about it. That's about it. I don't.
Pay for the money.
There's other things I wanted to say, but
yeah, the entire chat is like, dude, get the fuck off of the stream.
Cry more,
Yeah, okay,
bitch.
I got you, Zed.
Rebooting as soon as bitch ends. Give me a couple of minutes.
And I don't think so, Rusty.
I wanted so
Both become in
desperately.
groups. Those always tend to implode.
Or
Are always like this. They think they're immune until some gay shit happens in their own friend group, and then they try to, like, you know, desperately, like, save themselves while also simultaneously making themselves look bad.
Yeah.
Like, they're crying now because people are just not buying their shit, and that wouldn't have happened if they just stopped talking and just said their point and then bounced out.
Shut the fuck up Friday, you know?
Like, he could have saved his ass. Oh.
If they don't want gay shit, then stop being gay. Easy
Apparently,
peasy.
Lumi is gonna be in VC.
I think that.
Yeah, sounds like Lumi is, like, overwhelmed. So it sounds like this just happened out of nowhere from her end.
Oh gosh.
I mean, didn't we have
Again, I'm sorry.
banned
that-
YouTuber memes and Curry and nothing happened?
I am sorry that all
Well,
of this
everybody
happened.
wants to be the new Curry by being, like, a lolly, like, connoisseur. And then it just never works because they just insist on, like, having their culture war, like, bullshit in it. You know?
I chased away my friends.
Is she still streaming? Like, get him off of there!
Hey,
and
hey,
like
hey.
I said,
Why are they
Stay
still
out of my
streaming?
shed.
Get them out! Like, you're not, like, fooling anyone by crying.
I wish them well.
Get him out of here. Don't give him
I
his
know.
jacket.
That they're happy.
Hey, hey, hey. Stay out of my shed.
And I'm not asking, like, for forgiveness. I mean, like, I care, but, like, I'm not asking for the internet to forgive me for how I hurt them. I just wanted to say how I was feeling. And I wanted to say what was going on. That's about it. That's it.
$41 already, you cunt. 41 already, you cunt.
Sorry.
I see you guys think I should be done. I agree. I apologize for making this longer than it needs to be, and I'm not again. I don't want people's sympathy. I just wanted to explain what happened because it's not fair that this happened.
Fuck off already.
And I appreciate people. I wish people didn't super chat because I don't.
Louis said told Octo to end the stream.
Oh god. So about when I was saying Crimble one, it was let's see, Stone Toss got doxed.
Right.
Crimble was being a massive faggot, say like, I'm gonna remember this face and all that other shit because
Eat yourself off a bridge.
Everyone I don't like is Hitler mentality. Then Underthetea did a stream about him, and Crimble was like, "Oh, don't worry about them," or some shit like that. And I'm like, "Damn, I think he wanted it."
Damn.